Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Welcome to 40 Something Podcast.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
It's a little childish and stupid, but then so is high school.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Be excellent to each other. I feel the need for speed. Ow!
Get to the chopper!
There's something very important I forgot to tell you. Don't cross the street.
All right, important safety tip. Thanks.
One shall stand, one shall fall. There can be only one.
And now your hosts, Trevor Shafer and Jerry Mullen.
Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 16 of 40 Something Podcast. As you heard, I'm Trevor Shafer, and you're Jerry Mullen.
Yeah, it's episode 16-1.
16-1.
Hopefully we won't need 16-2 like last time.
No, we tested everything this week, including our new intro, which, I don't know, I had the weirdest idea last week in the shower about putting some shit
If you're
together.
thinking about me in the shower, we got problems.
I wasn't thinking about you. No, I was thinking about the podcast and fun things we can do with it and different technology we have now than when we did back in 2008, I think we started Growing Up Geek, so that's 10 years, so a little bit different technologies.
I still listen to that to this day. I put them on like when I'm laying down in bed once in a while.
You just want to hear my sweet, silky voice put you to sleep.
No, actually, I like listening to all the idiots we had on that show from time to time.
We had a slew.
Oh yeah, we had a slew of strange and wonderful people that came on the show. We at our peak, it was a lot of fun. But
it was.
It was also a job sometimes too. So, but I never did enjoy it.
I was gonna say there wasn't a job for anybody but me because I'm the one that had to edit all that shit together.
Well, yeah. I think sometimes we should ask those other beautiful folks to pop back on once in a while. But then I think about it and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the principles that we agreed this would be always a two-man show so we don't turn into a clusterfuck like it.
Yeah,
it was getting to when we had 6 people on and
dropping calls and all that shit. Poor Jason, man, he'd get on it and he wouldn't get a word in edgewise.
Well, he could have done a solo podcast and he wouldn't have gotten a word in edgewise. The boy barely talked.
So. Yeah, I guess so.
And then
when he needed something really techie, though, he was there.
Yes. He just sat there with those huge headphones that sat off his head like this.
Fucking Princess Leia fucking hair. Anyway.
And then we had other people on who just couldn't shut up. I'm not naming names. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Eye bleach?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, excuse me.
The good days. And if anyone's curious, you could find all the old episodes at growingupgeek.net.
Yeah, we had some good times there. About the first 10 episodes are really fucking rough.
Yeah, I would say that. The first episode, actually the first 2 or 3 episodes are almost painful to listen to.
Yeah, I still, I've gone back to the start of it and listened to it up. I think that like 25, I think, is where I kind of just stopped and then I started jumping around. Nacho Burrito is still one of my favorites. I like that episode, but that's just me.
We did have some good banter going on.
We did, but then again, our best episodes, and I hate to say this, thank you for all the people that are always on the show, but I think some of our best episodes still were just the ones that were me and you. And I agree. Put it that way. I just really did. I think we had a better run with it. Tom, I loved having Tom on there and Ashley and even my brother. He was a pain in the ass to have on the show, but because we would, a lot. But
I'd have to play referee sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that made it good too. So
Ed was fun to have on.
I've asked him to watch or listen to the show, and he says, "Yeah, I'll get to it."
Yeah.
Just like my relatives and anybody else.
He'll get around to that when he gets around to being married.
Yeah, well, that's never going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's right around the corner of never. It's on the corner of never and going to happen.
There you go.
So what happened this week? Anything good?
What happened this week is Red Dead Redemption 2 dropped today, and we're recording this on Friday, the 26th of October. So if you're wondering what the hell, why we're talking about it, yeah, it's Red Dead Redemption Day. That pretty much my Twitter feed since 7 p.m. last night, which is when midnight was over in Europe with some of the gamers I follow in Europe, and they had their midnight launch, has been nothing but Red Dead fucking Redemption.
Oh yeah, Facebook's full of it. Everybody playing it. There's been about 1,000 memes I've seen so far. I hate people who mispronounce meme to meme.
Meme.
Yeah, this guy I work with said it's a meme. I'm like, it's a meme. I said, now leave me, peasant. But anyway, I feel bad now. But
I honestly, I couldn't care less. I've never played the first game. And...
Nah, I'm in the same way. I can't play games that have like, you need to put 80, 90, 100 hours into.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't have bullshit for that. I don't have time for that.
You're Final Fantasy boy.
I haven't done that in ages.
No, but you've put in the hours.
I put in the hours, yeah, but I have short attention span theater now.
Yeah.
It's like I need my games to be like 8 to 14 hours. Otherwise, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's
The weird part...
You know what?
Sorry, go ahead.
It's basically Grand Theft Auto on horses.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. And I heard the story's really deep, at least on the original one. I haven't seen anything about the new one, but it's the story's deep, and they obviously the world's very vast and all that. And I'm like, well, that's great. Yeah, I don't get it. Like I never got into Grand Theft Auto either, so.
So I like the Grand Theft Auto series for the whole sandbox issue, or I shouldn't say issue, the whole sandbox thing. And I could see the call of Red Dead Redemption that you're doing that in the Old West. But it's one of those games that I actually own technically. It was on free on PS Plus 1 month. So it's actually installed on my PS3. But since I don't subscribe to it anymore, the PS Plus, I don't have access to it. But I kind of like you. I don't have that kind of time to put into a game that... Right now, I mean, I still own a couple of the Grand Theft Auto games. How do I play them? When I get in that mood, I'll load it up. I'll put in some cheat codes where I get all the weapons, and I'll just, start mass murdering people from a sniper position. Yeah. I'll take a sniper position on a building that I landed on with a helicopter in Times Square in Grand Theft Auto 4. Well, supposedly Times Square. And I'll just start sniping people.
Square Times.
It's New York, but it's not supposed to be New York. And then you get the 4 police stars, and they bring out the helicopters, and that's when you bring out the RPG and knock down the police helicopters. Good old wholesome fashion family fun.
Yeah. Violence. Yeah, I never got into Grand Theft Auto. Like I said, you were. A lot of my friends loved it. I was just like, I don't have the life force for that anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I'm looking at my desktop on my computer and all the games that I tried to start playing that were retro. I have folders of them, and I'm like, shit, I gotta play that, and I gotta play that.
I should bring up my Steam library. I have a huge Steam library, and I guarantee you will not find a single game played over 2 hours on there.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's really sad. But I do get these little bursts where I'm allowed to get like an hour or two here of just it's me time. And focus on a game, and then I hope to get that 2 hours again, like 6 months to a year later, to get back to that game. Yeah. That's why I can't do RPGs, because it's just my gaming time is too erratic. I'll never remember where I'm at, where I'm supposed to go, who I'm supposed to talk to.
If I play an RPG, I tend to play an old school one that I had played a lot in my youth, like Final Fantasy 1, and we're just gonna say the real numbers, like 4 and 6. I played those a lot as a kid. And even into my teens and early adulthood. But so when I was looking for a game on my phone, the original Final Fantasy was on sale for like $5. Wait, fart? Is that what
no, there was a little nap in here.
Anyway, so I bought that, and it would be like I could pick that up because the save feature on it was like perfect. It was like wherever you stop playing when you close the app is where it would pick back up. So if I was playing it like on the shitter at work for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, or if I was bored at home or something like that for 5 minutes, I'd be able to pick it up, do a couple fights, maybe make a little progression, and then keep going.
See, that's why I like fighting games. That's kind of my style game anymore. Sunday, I actually got a chance to play some games, and I played 3 games. All 3 were fighting games, and I completed all 3 through the arcade mode. And it's that kind of satisfaction. Okay, I put 15, 20 minutes into the fighting game, and boom, there, I got the ending. Okay, let's pop in another one. That I'm at that point now where it's like I like that, not instant gratification, but I don't have to spend 40, 50 hours to get to an end of a game. And
yes.
I'll just throw it in, play through it. Okay, yeah, there's a story mode, there's all these other side missions, but sometimes I'm not in the mood for that. I just want to play through a fun fighting game. So
I'm somewhat the same way. Like, I like something that I could just pick up and play for 20, 25 minutes, and then I could put down, and then, certain things like I have to remember what I did beforehand, but all of them I don't care about either. It's just like picked up. Hang on a sec.
No problem.
Hang on a sec.
Jerry's currently yelling at his family. He's grabbing the shotgun. He's loading the shells. And Jerry, that
He's
was
back.
Video evidence.
Yeah. Murder.
No, that's why I've always liked the Diablo games, because they are long games, but you can pretty much stop at any point you need to. And it tells you, it keeps your log of where you've been, where you need to go. There are portals back and forth to places that I'm playing through Diablo 3 the second time right now with a different character. And even though it's been months since I picked it up, I could pick it up right after this podcast, and I wouldn't have any problem picking up where it'd be like I just stopped playing for 10 minutes to go take a piss. That it picks right up right where you don't have to, okay, where was I? I mean, you know exactly where you are, exactly where you're supposed to go. You have your little quest log on the side, who you're supposed to talk to on the side. That if more games that were long form had that, I think I'd be more inclined to play them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't do a lot of gaming on my phone. I mean, that's not like long form games like you said. Like, I have just ones that are time wasters,
Solitaire is what I usually play on my phone.
I play like what the hell's on my phone right now that I'm playing? What the hell is it? Besides I'm watching movies on it. I've been doing that lately, but like Brick Breaker. That's like, all the balls bounce around. I've been playing that. It's like I could do one level and be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This reminds me, I have the PSP games to play. Anyway, like 3 of them. So, but that's like a very clever segue for me to talk about Castlevania Requiem.
For the 3rd episode in a row.
I got to talk about this, but I actually have it. I can't say in my hands either because it's a digital release, of course. But I saw a lot of reviewers online are complaining how bare bones it is, and it's true, because all you get is the 2 games. That's it.
But that's all you need. You don't need extra shit.
You don't need extra shit. I don't need like an HD update. You could actually just change the visuals a little bit. You could give it scan lines, and you could give it smoothing. You know what I mean? And shit like that, which I didn't turn any of that on. I just made it full screen, widescreen, whatever it was, and that was that. But
does it support a 16:9, or is it
stretched?
Okay.
Yeah, it's stretched. I mean, it's just taking it. But you could see it's a direct port of the PC Engine. It's not like they did anything super good with it. At least with Rondo of Blood. I haven't started Symphony of the Night yet. I want to beat Rondo of Blood and then work my way towards that, I guess.
I know some of them, they do the overscan where it's not crunched from the 4:3 aspect ratio, but I didn't know if this was just a stretch or if it actually did the overscan.
No, it's a stretch.
Okay.
It's definitely a stretch. I mean, it doesn't look terrible either, But one of the things I like about that, I do like about it though, is your ability to change what the buttons do. You'd be surprised, like in Super Nintendo days, that's like unheard of.
In any game, really, until the PlayStation.
Yeah. But that one you could change because you used to, in the old Castlevanias, it's up and attack to use your sub-weapon. And that one, you're able to set it to a button. Makes it infinitely easier.
Well, you have more buttons now, too, to work with.
You're right. Before you had 2, 4, 6, whatever, but it does make it better. But it is really nice, but it is really bare bones. But the more I think about it after playing the PSP Dracula X Chronicles, that's all this is. That's all it is. Is a Symphony of the Night from that and Rondo of Blood from that with... better a translation, because I can't remember if Rondo of Blood had a translation on that or not. Because I played the updated Rondo of Blood, not the original, and I don't know if it had like the English to German, whatever that shit is, like, you know, patch or dub or whatever it was. I'm sorry, but it's a lot of fun, and you know, it's Nintendo hard. I gotta admit, it is. It's
not
actually,
quite Mega Man hard.
Oh fuck no.
Good.
No. Oh fuck no. It's not Mega Man 1 hard. You know. Anyway, yeah, I had to recycle that from last time. I don't know why. I figured I could get it in one more time. This is like the last week I'll bring up this fucking Requiem too.
No, it won't.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe when I start playing Symphony of the Night, because I want to hear the butchered voice work, which I have a feeling it's the same one as the PSP, if I'm not mistaken.
It's supposed to be the same one as the PSP.
Yeah, which it sucks. Robert Belgrade's voice in the original one is so good. So, all right, I'm done. It's over. I don't have to talk about it no more. At least for another week.
I was gonna say, no, you'll talk about it next episode.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk. I'll probably play it when we're done. So, at least, like, it's gotta be one more level. And the problem with the game is I know how to get like the alternate levels in Rondo of Blood, but you have to do it in a certain way and remember like where to fall or where to go through this wall or go up these steps or like that. So every time I beat a level, I go back through it and I'm like, all right, this is where I should have went here, and it's taken me longer than I thought it would.
You're turning into the completionist.
No, I don't want to. Well, yeah, I do, but it has trophies. One of the trophies in that, which was really funny, was catch the red orb before it hits the ground.
Oh, that's a classic.
That's an yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I did it just because it's like habit.
And just like that freeze frame, and you know.
Yeah. Well, in that one, he could backflip, so he's like, you know, halfway on his back or whatever in the midair, and I'm like, and then his trophy pops, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot this had trophies. I started checking them, and most of them are pretty simple, except for the one for Rondo of Blood. I didn't look at Symphony of the Night yet, but Rondo of Blood is like you have to beat a level without getting hit. Ooh, that's fucking hard. Yeah. I said to myself, I'm just gonna sit down and keep replaying the first level until I get through it.
Well, I was shocked. My son and I were playing Mortal Kombat 9 last week, and we got a trophy. And it's the first time I've heard that trophy sound in probably years. And I guess we had played X amount of versus matches and got the trophy for that.
There you go. Yeah.
So.
Bling.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell was that? And I forget what it said.
We don't have that on the soundboard we never use.
That's actually true. We don't have it on the soundboard.
Yeah.
So.
So, my daughter's getting her hair done up for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Halloween party at dance. So, you know, so hello.
Hi.
She can't hear you. It's hilarious though.
It is.
But you know, my daughter. What's Jack going for Halloween this year?
He is an evil jester.
Oh, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, with a big ass machete.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
What about your daughter?
She is going as Owlette from PJ Masks.
I don't even know what that is.
You wouldn't. Your kids are too old.
Yeah.
I'm at that level now where Paw Patrol, PJ Masks. The new one is Vampirina. That's all we watch.
Well, Paw Patrol, I know. Yeah, so
what are your kids? Is Megan dressing up this year?
No.
Your oldest? No.
No, she's done. Yes, you can have the Switch. Here, go away. And then got it.
That's the beauty
okay.
of the Switch. Here, just take
it.
It's portable.
Yeah, just take it. Yeah.
So what's Katie going as?
A vampire. There's my brother calling. Damn it! I forgot to tell him we were doing this.
Does he not know every 2 weeks on a Friday night after 9 p.m.?
Yeah, he knows. I usually text him about 8:30 and say, "Hey,
hey shithead,
hey shithead, okay. Podcasts. Thank you." All right, there we go. So that's so actually I called him this morning, so that's probably why he's calling me back. But
well, here's a good question. Because I know that's the whole big thing going on Facebook. If you see teenagers trick-or-treating, give them a candy bar because they could be doing worse things. What was the oldest age you went trick-or-treating until?
I went until I was, I think, 14. I think that's when I stopped. 14, 15 is when I stopped. I went till I was older.
I went till I don't remember what age I was. It would have been 7th grade, which would have been 1990, which would have put me at 13. That was the last time I went.
I would say 13, 14 for me, right in that zone. Because me and Chris went. We went forever.
Yeah, it was me and Jimbo. We went all the time.
Yeah.
And we went, and then after that, I started handing out for a few years. And then once you get into high school, we started having the Halloween parties, which was fun.
Yes, it was. And there's video proof of that.
There is video proof.
Yeah. Not that people should see it, but
no. But there's nothing like having a Halloween party inside a cemetery.
oh yeah, no, that was awesome growing up, you know. As I remember telling my mother, I'm going to Trevor's for a Halloween party. She goes, in the cemetery. It's pretty cool.
Yep. It's unique.
It is.
And there are some very fond memories there of the Eminem fight we had the one time.
Yeah, the Jurassic Park incident.
The Jurassic Park incident. Lou trying to hop the pool fence and thinking a bush was a table.
Yeah.
And him on a picket fence with his little legs kicking and his balls being impaled.
Hush puppy wiffle ball.
Oh, can't forget that. I think that was just a regular party at my house.
I thought that was Halloween.
I don't think that was a Halloween party.
Oh, because she wasn't there and came late.
No, because she's the one that always provided the hush puppies.
Yes, boxes of them.
Yes.
God, that was great.
I actually have video of that. I have video of that party because my girlfriend at the time and my mother were doing inappropriate things with a piece of fish and 2 hush puppies.
So you're gonna have to send me that. Get into the archive, and I'd like to see that. No, that's all right. I would like to see the Jurassic Park video.
I have that. I could send you that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
I think the weirdest part about having a Halloween party, whether you're having it in the cemetery or your house or going to one, is you never know who's really showing up if they're wearing masks.
Yeah.
Is it someone that's invited? Is it someone who's crashing? Because really, if you dress up well, that people are like, wow, that's a great costume. You could go to whatever Halloween party you want because they're just going to be impressed by the costume and not care who's underneath there.
Yeah. I never had any costumes that impressive. I just bought shit and did whatever. But I went as Fred Flintstone when Kelly went as Wilma one year. And then I went as like the Grim Reaper quite a few times, and I went as a lot of things. But
so, as an adult, what was your favorite Halloween costume as an adult?
As an adult,
yeah,
I'd have to say Fred and Wilma. To tell
Fred
you the
and Wilma,
truth. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That works out considering Kelly's red hair. And,
yeah, that's absolutely true.
It's you make good use of what you have. So, what about you?
Probably my favorite was probably dressing up as Night Owl from Watchmen.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it's for a very juvenile reason. It was the first costume I ever had since I was 4. I think I was 4 when I was Count Von Count. But that was the first costume since then that had a cape, and that was just awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Capes are an underrated classic.
Unless you are an incredible or a superhero that wants a costume designed by Edna. That's rule number 1. No capes.
So, no capes. That's a good movie, Incredibles 2.
It is.
It is. There's, except for that part that's like Caesar-inducing. That's a little tough to watch, but...
Now, for Halloween, I stagnated for about a decade and a half, where every year I dress up as the same thing. And
like as an adult, you mean?
Yeah, as an adult, yeah. Because we used to go to a convention at the Meadowlands every year for Halloween, and it was a big sci-fi horror convention. And that Saturday, it was always the weekend right around Halloween, and that Saturday night they had a huge costume party. So every year I go dressed up in my Starfleet uniform. And then after that, we'd go around with the kids. My niece and nephew, then my kids, and I'd dress up in that as well. And you wear the same costume for 10, 15 years. It kind of gets boring, honestly.
Yeah. Halloween, I don't know. I mean, I got into it more when my kids were into it, because then it was like, but I got into the trick-or-treating part of walking my kids around. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It's a rite of passage as a parent.
Oh, absolutely.
Point. Yeah.
Though the worst has to be the first couple years you take them, because they're at that timid state where they don't want to walk up to the house. And then they get to that state where they'll walk up to any house where the light's on or off.
Yes. They start knocking on windows. And
exactly.
shit. That
my oldest is 9. My youngest is 3. That they're of that age now where last year we just stood at the road and had them go down the sidewalk, and we'd walk slowly with them, but they knew what houses to go to. He helped his sister, and They went and did their own thing that you didn't have to walk up onto the porch with them and walk back down.
The only time that me and Kelly would go up now is when the house is letting people in.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I go to the door, at least.
There's only
Unless you know them.
Yeah, there's only one house that I do that with. It's affectionately known in the neighborhood as the cookie house, because the lady actually, you walk through her house and it comes out into her backyard, which exits onto the street. So you walk in and there's just cookies everywhere. Then there's candy everywhere. And she tells you, and the adults are welcome, that you just walk through. And even if you're an adult, take whatever you want. It's a huge party they hold there. The one year she was outside handing out Jell-O shots to all the parents. I mean, it's a great house to hit. And her cookies are infamous in the neighborhood. That everyone, you got to go to the cookie house.
Yeah, there used to be, I used to like it because, like, when we were trick-or-treating as kids, and the place is gone now, there was a corner store at the end of the street here, and
yeah, it's
you
literally
could go
gone now.
No, it's a different one.
Oh, okay.
It's a different. I know which one you're talking about. But,
yeah.
But you used to be able to go in there, and if you sang a song or did a dance for them, whatever, they'd give you like a whole candy bar from the shelf, like that they were selling.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there were times when I'd go outside and me and my buddies would switch costumes and get. And we would get like, I don't know, 5 big candy bars, you know what I mean? But that was in the days when you would, as kids, like I was 13, I remember going with 2 friends of mine and like, you could go in the bars, there's like 3 bars in between my house and like the kind of the circle we all did. And you would go in like the American Legion and then the one at the bottom of my hill. And then there was another one and you went in there and you'd get everything from money to cigarettes to ashtrays before you got out of there. But I mean, like, I remember I was like 13 and the one guy was offering me his beer and I'm like, well, and the bartender stops him, thank God for her. But
the one thing I hate, and we didn't have it when we were kids for reasons, but I hate the parents now who drive their kids. So they drive up the block and they drive really slow with their car. And the kids go to the house and they jump in the car because they can't walk 2 goddamn houses down.
Yes.
And then they get back out of the car, and it's like, just
I don't think that's laziness. I used to think that was lazy, but as I became an older parent, it's more of, and it's not efficiency because it's definitely not efficient. No. It's just security, I think, for parents.
I don't know.
Maybe it's me.
Park at the block,
I think
walk
if you're
around.
Not walking them and freezing your ass off, it's not Halloween.
Exactly.
To me, I don't know.
Although the one lady, her kids must be older. I haven't seen her in the last 2 or 3 years. She used to take her kids around in a golf cart around the neighborhood.
Oh, that's cool.
But they used to dress up the golf cart and everything else like that, so it was kind of cool. So.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, we did. I'll tell you, and there's a lot less houses out there now.
Oh, there are tons of houses that used to hand out for when I was a kid. But that's the thing. I mean, those people have either moved on or passed on. You have either renters now, or sometimes the houses are empty, or people who just don't want to hand out because, let's be honest, I mean, candy's not cheap.
No.
I mean, I just bought 2 bags of M&Ms for us for the weekend, and that was almost $12.
Yeah.
Just 2 bags of M&Ms.
It's like that one post I saw on Facebook. I just got my Halloween candy. I hope kids like 4 Musketeers and Skittles. Like, that's really funny, but you know what? It's not far from the truth.
No,
either.
It's not.
It really isn't, because, like when we go out, because we don't stay, nobody stays here when we go out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this year, I think Megan's going to go up to my aunt's and hand out candy with her, but we'll take Kate out and I'll leave a bowl on the porch. It's on the honor system, and every year we come up and there's still a lot left. So that tells me that either kids don't come up to the porch or kids are really truthful. I'm inclined to believe the first one, of course.
Yeah.
But then I end up taking that to work to get rid of it. I just freaking, there you go, eat it. They do.
I remember the year we had to teach my son about the parent tax. Because we started hitting his bag. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "This is the parent tax." "What's the parent tax?" I said, "I bought your costume. I walked you around the block a couple times. That's my tax. I get some of the good candy."
Yeah. I get the Kit Kats.
Yes.
Give them up.
Any Snickers, those are coming to me.
Yeah.
Snickers and Whoppers are usually give them up.
Yeah. I know Whoppers are nasty.
Oh, I like Whoppers.
I know.
And
Like I like Kit Kats and Reese's cups. Yeah, I'll take all them. They're usually a fight though, anyway. But
and I think I'm the only person in my family who likes Tootsie Rolls, which usually works in my favor.
I like Tootsie Rolls, but I only like one or two, and I'm good for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like those. I honestly like those after like a meal,
Mm-hmm.
like just have that sweet to cut, to finish your meal kind of thing. That's when I like them.
I love when your kids get the candies though that you haven't had in years because you forget about, like a Rolo. You never think I want to go buy a Rolo, but when you see it in the candy bag, it's like, oh, hello, old friend.
You know when I really like Rolos is when you go to like an ice cream place that'll fucking blizzard them into a.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, a blizzard Rolo. Oh. God, I miss eating food I used to be able to eat.
But I love those just little, like, just callbacks. Like, oh, I forgot about that candy.
Yeah, I like Almond Joys, and that's probably the only time I eat them. You know what I mean?
Butterfingers.
Nobody here will eat them.
That's the only time I'll eat a Butterfinger because I don't buy them because I like them too much and they're horrible for your teeth.
No, they're horrible.
Well, yeah, but.
So, all right, so yeah, that's about 40-something Halloween this year. 'Cause we'll be. Thanks, good night. But the giant skull says, anyway.
Giant skull says, "Goonies never say die."
Goonies never say die. That's what I thought it was. I was almost guaranteed it was until I looked at the real one. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's close. I just did an images for skulls, and this one
has less teeth or more teeth. I couldn't tell. I couldn't remember which one.
Well, a lot of them, they didn't have the lower jaw, which makes it look really weird. Some of them were off kilter. This one just happened to be asymmetrical but symmetrical enough that it fit in nice and that the eye holes were large enough to fit our ugly mugs.
To fit us.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Smash Brothers got a release date.
I see, and it's a horrible release date.
What is it actually? Oh yeah, it's right around Christmas. Yeah, it's right around Christmas. Well, it's not terrible for Nintendo.
No, but here's the thing I think is terrible, and I understand why they do it. They do it for the Christmas season, but your kids are probably going to be like my kids. I'm probably going to be like you, that we want to get it when it comes out, which it'd be better if they could wait for a Christmas present, but they probably won't. So,
well, I think what I'm going to do is just I'm going to wait till after Christmas to get it. That's just going to be me. Because it'll be something that me and Kate and Megan play. Maybe Kelly. I don't know if she'll get into it or not. But I think the three of us will definitely get into it. And we'll sit here in front of it and just play it to death. I hope it's not going to be 8 hours of us having to unlock all the characters. Because you know what? I'm too old for that shit. I'll do it. But.
And see, that's why people like you are the reason we have DLC unlockable characters.
I'll do it, but I hate having to do it. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, man.
You're the reason there are loot boxes. I don't want to grind, so I'll just pay for that level. I don't want to unlock the character. I'll just pay
I'm sorry,
to unlock
have you met me? Do you think I would pay for it?
That is true. That is true.
I just hate having to do it. I'll do it, but I don't know. And it's something else we missed actually before the show, and I'd hate to get back on the Castlevania train one more time, but the show's back on Netflix today.
Oh yeah, 26th. Yeah. Holy shit!
It is. I guess they timed out that Requiem with the same day. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not.
Oh come on, that was intentional.
Yeah, let's get some Castlevania back in the thing. Back at the right. Only reason I know it is because it's on my calendar that I pulled up by mistake, and it says Castlevania, and I'm like, no, it's not time for me to remind him of Portrait of Ruin yet. That's like 6th show in a row for that. Yeah, well, hey, you said you were playing it.
I did start it. I just haven't gotten back to it.
Yeah, sure. That's what you said 5 years ago, too.
This is exactly what happened 5 years ago.
So I wanted to ask you, though, because you sent me a picture of your DS. I said, how charged was it when you picked it back up?
It was dead as a doornail.
Was it? Oh, man, I had really high hopes of it having like half a battery.
So, no, I last played that 3 or 4 years ago. Because I actually, trying to think, it was right after, it was when we had the Wii. It was before the Wii U because Jack had broken the new Super Mario Brothers for the Wii disc. And he was upset about that. So I gave him my DS. And it's like, here, it's kind of the same game, just it's in a handheld form, which held his attention for all of about 30 seconds. And he goes, this screen's too small. And I'm like, you freaking little prick.
Yeah.
Do you know the size screens we
DS
played on?
Yeah.
My screen was green.
Yeah.
You know,
Fucking
and not
pea
backlit.
Pea soup bullshit green. Yeah.
You couldn't play with a light on, but you couldn't see without a light on. You see
Yes.
the conundrum we played with?
Yeah. I had the thing on the screen, so it magnified a little. I remember buying that. That was like $30 too.
It was.
Back in the day, you know. That's why I was always happy when they came out with the Super Game Boy. So you could put it in the Super Nintendo and then put the cartridge in. I got a lot of use out of that. I got a real lot of use out of that. Because I had all those games. And it was like, you know, you don't want to sit there and play a, wow, we got way off topic. But,
Off topic with Trevor and Jerry.
Yeah.
Which I actually looked at that. I actually thought about that. I'm like, should we ever change the podcast to off topic? And there are like 8 different podcasts with off topic. All the domains are gone.
Yeah.
Are bought. I'm like, no.
We're fine. But it was like, you know, like there's like the Final Fantasy Legend on Game Boy. The original Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, any Final Fantasy game is it's a drudge to get through. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to play it on a 4x4-inch screen.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, I knew that was shitty. But that's why the Game Boy worked, too. If you ever watch the history of it. You ever watch the Gaming Historian about the Game Boy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a great video. The one about Tetris is a little long.
A little?
It's like a fucking hour.
Yeah. I don't need to know that much about Tetris.
It's actually really good. I watched it in like 30-minute chunks or 15 minutes.
I watched the longest one I watched of his was the history of, what was it, Atari, which was like 35, 40 minutes. And that was actually quite informative about Noel Bushnell and all that whole shit that went on. And so
yeah, Bushnell had a less is more theory.
Yeah, which was good. But unfortunately...
I think except for the people that got fucking lost their jobs,
Exactly, that the less is more, but... I mean, his philosophy would have prevented the 83 crash.
It would have.
But the investors thought differently. The market thought differently, that let's get as many games out there as possible. And hello, video game crash of 83. How are you?
The games were worthless, and they sucked, if that's possible.
They were incomplete. They sucked.
Yeah.
The prices were... I don't want to... Well, no, I'll say it. The prices were too steep for what you were getting. I was going to say, I don't want to say you weren't getting your money's worth, but no, that's absolutely true. You weren't getting your money's worth for it. That's why they were selling... that's why they were throwing them in landfills at the end. They couldn't sell them for a quarter.
Yeah. I know, like... I think it was up the mall. There was a... It's where Macy's is now. There was a store before that. Was it McCrory's? Because I couldn't remember what it was.
Because it had the little lunch counter in the front, the little restaurant.
That place
that was
awesome.
McCrory's.
McCrory's was selling. I remember because I when it's 1983 and you don't know why video games are cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
My mom worked at the mall my entire life. She worked at Penny's, you know. So we used to go from Penny's down to the food court or whatever, or we would walk through the mall, pick up my mom up at the end of the day. Like the last half hour the mall was open, whatever. But I remember going to McCrory's and like shelves are stacked up with Atari games, like $1. And this is 83, you know. They're about that much now anyway. When you go to fucking yard sales and shit,
I remember that at Zares that we used to go in and. I mean, growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so getting a video game was a big thing.
It was.
And once in a blue moon, if it was on sale, we were allowed to buy like a $10 Atari game. But I remember when Zares was going out, I mean, they were like $1, like you said, $1.50 a piece, and my dad would go, here, pick out 2. You know, it was great.
It was. I remember going there in McCrory's, and they were all on the shelves, and I remember buying, like, the problem with buying games when it's buying like 3 or 4, but, I mean, the problem with Atari was you didn't, because the box art was so deceiving.
Oh,
it was.
Completely. But the box art was
guy
fantastic.
Like a fucking awesome football player on the cover going like this, and I'm like, then it's like fucking 4 sprites for a shitty football game.
I mean, look at one of the greatest box arts of all time, which is Missile Command for the Atari 2600.
Oh my God.
It's iconic. And then you look at the game and you're like, what the hell? You know, it's a bunch of squiggly lines coming down the screen. Not this awesome guy with this, you know, Death Star helmet on with all these controls. And
I guess the theory was like you're that guy.
Yeah.
But, but Atari innovated a lot. They really did. They had a cable modem service where they could download games. If you look that up, that's actually true. But the problem with that little thing is that games became higher. Like games were like 2 kilobytes at the time. So when they got into like 4 kilobytes, that service became worthless because the cartridge couldn't hold the games anymore.
Yeah. That
was a design flaw. And it got better and better. And then they had keyboard games and everything like that. And it did get more innovative, but that thing lasted from like 78 to the 90s. You can't get a lifespan on a console like that anymore.
No. But
and I'll tell you, if I find an Atari 7800 in the wild, I will buy it. Because
I'll keep that in mind.
Because you get two systems with it. You get the 2600 and the 7800 because it plays both.
I'm trying to think. I did come across a couple of Ataris at one of the used shops I was at the one time. And I don't collect for the Atari, so I don't care. But if I find a 70, I think it was the guy downtown, actually. The guy off the square.
Yeah.
Had a bunch of different Ataris there.
I'll have to go down there and check that out. I'll be down there tomorrow. But I'm going down there tomorrow, and there's another good thing. I'm going to see the Mystery Science Theater down at Kirby tomorrow.
Ah, congrats, my friend.
Yeah. Well, my aunt called me about 2 weeks ago. Well, a little more than that. Whenever the tickets were just about to go on sale. It was probably before that. But anyway. It says, hey, do you want to see that Mystery Science Theater show? And I'm like, yeah, I'd really like to. So I said, nobody else will go. And I said, I kind of don't have the money right now anyway. And she goes, I'll buy you a ticket. And she goes, I'll go with you. I'm like,
oh, there you go.
Then she called me today and said, hey, you want to go to lunch beforehand? I'm like, sure. So, but I'm going to be down that way tomorrow. I wonder if I have like 10 minutes, I'll sneak over and see what he's got.
Yeah, because when you go in, that first case, I believe, on the right is all of his Atari stuff. Yeah. And I know he had a couple different versions because he had, oh Christ, what the hell? Not the TX. It wasn't the first Atari computer. It was the second Atari computer.
The 5200?
No. Actual computer.
Oh, the Atari 8-bit system?
Yeah. I don't remember. It wasn't the first version. It was the second version. But he had that. He had a couple 2600s, but I think he had a 7800 as well. So
wow. I'll see how much he wants for it.
Because last time I was there, I was interested till he said the price, but he had a Vectrix there with a bunch of games. But he wanted 300 for it.
Yeah, forget it.
And I'm like, no, I'm not. No. Because
they're a neat system and they're fun to play with, but I would never want to own one. I don't think.
Because I didn't even know. I was looking at the Dreamcast games. That's when I picked up MK Gold, and I hear a kid at the other end. He was all the way at the other end, and he goes, "What's that behind there?" He's like, "Oh, that's a Vectrix." He's like, "What's that?" It's like, "Oh, it's a vector-based graphics game." He's like, "Yeah, I got that in a bunch of games." And the kid's like, "Well, how much?" He's like, "Well, because it has all these games, 300." And I wasn't about to ask, like, because I mean, the thing that makes the games valuable too is if they have the overlays that go on the Vectrix. That I'm sure they had the overlays. That I don't know how many he had, but it was probably worth 300 if he maybe had 10 games with all the overlays in box. But 300's a little rich for my blood for a Vectrix.
Yeah, you know what though? I looked up because I used to watch Classic Game Room. And he's not even on YouTube anymore, but he had one, and somebody from you could order it online. There's a multi-cart for the Vectrix.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, that has all the Vectrix games built into it. All the ones that were ever released are built on the cart, but you don't have the overlays.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's the thing, and I'm sure there's a place you could go and print out the overlays, but
I don't know if I would.
Oh,
My brother goes, new season of Castlevania on Netflix, so I just busted his balls, and he goes, yeah, I watched them already.
Oh.
He goes, guess you didn't work today. I'm like, was it any good? I'm like, yes, it was.
Did you actually watch them all?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I didn't think you did.
I'm just fucking with them. I might watch one before bed tonight, but I hope it picks up like the second after it left off.
Well, I actually started watching, I'm halfway through the first season a second time around just to refresh.
It's only 4 episodes.
I know. I watch it when I do the dishes.
Yeah, but the second season's only 4 episodes.
Oh, it's only 4 episodes again?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Netflix.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
Well, it's not a hard season to get through in like one sitting.
Yeah, it really isn't.
Yeah.
Considering the last series I just went through with the wife, that was 10 episodes in an hour apiece. So yeah, that's an afternoon right there for 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What show was that?
The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, a couple people I work with said it was.
Oh, right. That is probably my favorite series to come out on Netflix since House of Cards. To me, it's better than Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things is really good.
Stranger Things is excellent, but you know me and the whole horror genre, haunted house thing.
No, I know.
It's like House of Cards, and then like neck and neck is right there, The Haunting of Hill House. So
I have to say, House of Cards, I will have no faith in now.
well, that premieres next month, November, and obviously last season.
I want to know what they're going to say about Frank.
Rumor has it. First, the rumor was there's going to be a small cameo of stuff they already filmed. Then another rumor was they're not going to mention him at all. A third would be he's off somewhere off camera. And then the fourth rumor was they're going to kill him off camera. So who knows what's really going to happen?
My money's on the fourth one.
You think they're just going to kill him off camera?
They're just going to kill him off, yeah. Off camera, assassination in between seasons.
So.
Because it ended good. And it always did.
Well, yeah, it kind of did. I did not like the way it ended. I'll be honest. I did not like the way the last season ended. Should we do spoilers?
Go ahead.
Okay. I feel that having her as president at the end and having them run as Underwood and Underwood was just kind of lazy writing.
I don't know. I actually kind of liked it.
For the way the first 4 seasons were structured, for him to go from House Minority Whip to vice president to president in each consecutive season, and seeing how he did it and how he laid out his, House of Cards, that to me that was more devious than him running with his wife. Like the fact that she failed as the UN ambassador, I thought that was great. That, okay, this isn't her arena. But now to have her be the president because Underwood resigned, I just found that kind of lazy.
But that's my opinion.
Hey,
I think she's worse than he is.
To a point, absolutely.
Leaps and bounds. I think
they're both ruthless, which makes them. I mean, there's pretty much no love in that relationship except the love of how devious the other one is.
Yeah. And they don't trust each other.
No, they don't.
You know that, and they'll say, "Oh, thanks, honey."
So, I mean, I am going to watch the season next month, but it's not going to be like last year. I was so looking forward to that. Well, it's actually almost 2 years ago now. I was so looking forward to that the day it came out. I told my wife, I said, nothing is getting done for the next 48 hours. I am watching this from beginning to end when I can, and I did. And it was just, I don't know if it's maybe because I watched it in succession like that, but I just thought that the writing was just a little lazy.
All right. Well, we'll have to give it our rating when it comes out.
I think it's going to be a completely different feeling because Frank is gone. This is the Claire show now, so
it's like the Connors on ABC.
Yeah.
People say the show is even better without her, but what stuff?
Well, I haven't seen any of the new episodes. I think I saw 3 episodes of the season. The original, the revival last year.
Yeah.
And then I got bored of it.
I think that's all there was before she fucked it up. Before she ran her mouth. What? And I think the Connors is only on because they have contracts with all those people. So they have to either pay them or do a show. So. Oh, shit. Okay, so. But we got way off topic, I don't even know what we were originally talking about.
But I will say one thing, that this whole revival of old 90s sitcoms things can stop right now. I mean, we got a second season of Will and Grace, a second season of technically Roseanne. I mean, I did hear a series the other day they were thinking about bringing back the original cast for. It's like, just come up with new ideas. Come on.
Yeah. Well, like Magnum PI came back. You know what I mean? It's not Tom Selleck. It's like a reboot of that show. And Hawaii Five-0 came back years ago. And
Knight Rider tried.
I liked that show. Yeah.
You were the only one that watched it.
I was. And I only want to watch it, but I liked it. I don't know. Everybody wants that car. Let's be real.
The original, though, the Trans Am.
I don't know. I like the Mustang, too. Either or. Yeah. If I won that $700 million or $1.6 billion or whatever it was, you got $700 million, I think, in the long run.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I would have bought Kit. And probably the General Lee.
The tumbler.
I would have bought the tumbler.
That's
I probably would have wrecked the tumbler.
That's how you roll up to your job to quit after you win the lottery with the tumbler.
Yeah. Pull it right up to the door.
Yes.
Like and park. Fuck you guys. And you have the seat just take you down like it does when he gets in it. See you guys.
Or even the 89 Batmobile. Just pull up and have that cowl come down. I quit, asshole. And just right out with the turbine.
Yeah. Then you have it turn itself around.
Yeah.
Like in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
It would turn itself around and then out of here. That's not a car that was made for right or left turns either, but God, the original Batmobile. The 89 Batman. Whatever it is, the original one. Michael Keaton. God, that car's beautiful.
That's the 89, yeah.
Yeah, the 89 Batman. That car's beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Drew Carey had it last. That's what I remember.
I've never seen the original. I got to see a stunt shell.
Yeah.
That they used, and the not only is it beautiful in person, it's a hell of a lot longer than you think it is.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It is, and I saw the original '66 Batman at a car show once, Batmobile,
that's
and that
cool.
was really cool because it had the bat phone in there still and everything. It was really kept really nice. A guy in Philadelphia owned it. This was back in the late '80s, early '90s, somewhere around that time. And I probably Jay Leno owns it now. He owns every fucking iconic automobile out there.
He does.
But there was a guy from Philly who owned the original Batmobile, and he brought it up here to the Armory in Kingston for a car show.
Cool.
That I went to, and I got to see the original Batmobile, which was great.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
So we got through Castlevania. I busted your balls about that. What else do we got? Oh, you played. Well, you can bring up how you played Mortal Kombat X finally.
Well, let's not talk about how I played it. Let's just say I played Mortal Kombat X.
Okay, I wasn't mentioning how. We don't get into the gray areas.
Well, I could tell you the whole reason I finally got it was my son, who actually just snuck by to use the bathroom. He actually got enough money on his birthday, his 9th birthday, and we went and bought him a gaming rig. So it ended up, because the price of RAM right now and video cards are still high, that it was actually cheaper to buy him a pre-made gaming rig at Best Buy, believe it or not, than it was to build the exact same rig.
Like piecemeal.
Yeah,
piecemeal.
But the sales they were running at the time were amazing. We got him a 23-inch monitor, his tower, which is all he needed, and we ended up saving over $500 on the package.
Damn.
So, I mean that's just amazing. So, and he had a terabyte hard drive that I'd give him already with the Steam games on it. So we just threw the terabyte in with the terabyte that was already there, and boom. But because he has, there he is right there.
Speaking of.
But because he has a huge gaming rig, I mean, you should have seen his face because he was playing Fallout 4 on the old iMac in the Windows partition, and he had it set to the lowest settings, and it still stuttered. He goes, "Can you set up my Steam library?" I said, "Yeah." So we threw the drive in, got it all loaded up, loaded Fallout into the Steam library. He booted up, and the loading screen came up, and it started flashing. And he's like, "What's it doing?" I said, "It's a new computer. It's detecting the settings." And then a little box came up. Video settings automatically configured. Default, Ultra.
Oh!
And his little face just lit up. I said, "There you go, buddy. Happy birthday." Yeah. And
it's like Marty turning the speaker up.
Exactly. So because he has that now, we have a Steam Link, which is this little teeny tiny box you hook up to your TV, and it runs off your network. So any computer that's running Steam, you can basically AirPlay it to the Steam Link. Mm-hmm. And it's over. I just took it off my desk because I actually had the Steam controller. That's how I was playing Mortal Kombat X on my computer. That you could use the Steam controller or any USB or wireless controller with the link. So now that he has a beefy system, I got a copy of Mortal Kombat X to put on his machine to stream to the TV so we could play just like we play in Mortal Kombat 9.
Oh, very nice.
On the TV. So it's like having a PS4 without having a PS4, essentially. If that makes any sense. But no,
sorta.
I did. It's able to run on my rig on the Windows 10 partition I have. I have to run at the low settings, but it is playable, and over the course of about half an hour, I ran through it with Sub-Zero. So,
Yeah.
which was nice. It was
It
fun.
is. It's brutal.
It is. It is unforgiving at certain points, especially because I had no clue what any of the new moves were. Because, every Mortal Kombat, you still have your core moves, but there are new moves they put in there.
Sure.
And I didn't want to do the whole, let me look up all the moves online. I'm like, I'm just going to try it out. So Sub-Zero's always, everyone goes, I want to play Scorpion first. It's like, I'm always kind of a Sub-Zero. I like the variety of Sub-Zero. But what I didn't realize, because I had never played it till then, is you get a different set of moves for whatever
you have
mode
three
you put
different
them on.
styles.
Yeah.
They have 3 different styles of combat.
Yeah, exactly. So I took the ice weapon over the ice clone, which I'm a prick with the ice clone.
You are.
My son found that out, that I'm a prick with the ice clone. So I'll probably play through it again with the ice clone, but the game is beautiful. Oh my God. It is absolutely beautiful looking, even on low settings. So I can't wait to crank it up to ultra on his system this week.
Fucking max settings.
We might do that tomorrow. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah. I played it on the PS4, and you know what? That was like, I got into it at first, but after like a year, you don't play a fighting game 1 year later that much. You know what I mean? That's like any game. I personally,
I'll disagree with you there.
Yeah. Well, let's agree to disagree.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, but it's not like I didn't play that for a whole year when I owned it originally.
No. But I'm saying it's still got replay value.
Yeah. I have something about that too, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
But it's like, after like they got into like the 3rd season of characters, I'm like,
yeah, so I got the base package. I didn't get the whole DLC shit.
Yeah.
And all that kind of.
Yeah. And then like Injustice is like that too. Injustice 2 anyway. And that's one I've never played. And I think I'll pick that up when it's used in the used market and give it a try, or I'll wait for the complete edition or whatever they'll call it at this point, because then you get like Hellboy and the Ninja Turtles and all that fucking shit. But Mortal Kombat X is beautiful, and it's very fast paced.
It is. I was impressed by the speed.
Yeah.
And the one thing that, sorry, go ahead.
No. I said there's no breathing in it. You have to be playing at all times.
The one thing that shocked the hell out of me, no pun intended, and you'll find out why, is because I was using the Steam controller through Steam. It has settings built into the controller for every game. So when I was playing Raiden, when he would shock me, the controller wouldn't just vibrate. It'd vibrate to the timing of the electricity.
Oh, yeah.
And that was just absolutely cool. I've never played a game like that. Like when he flies across the screen at you, your controller just doesn't vibrate. It vibrates in rhythm to Raiden going through the air. And it was just really cool.
That is cool.
And when Raiden does his little torpedo move, it turns to that 2.5D, which I thought was really cool. And I know this is old news for most people, but it's the first time I've played it. And even though it's been out for like, 3 years now? 3 years?
Yeah.
So.
That's at the end of its life cycle.
It is.
Yeah, it is. So. It's a good game, though.
It is a good game. It's definitely worth getting into, and I can't wait to try out some of the new characters and some of the old characters and get into there. And
yeah. A lot of horror icons in that.
Yes.
When you get to the DLC.
The DLC,
everything.
yeah. Like, I'd love to get the DLC and play as Predator.
He's all right. He's a dick in that, actually.
Well,
That's just a personal, yeah. But I liked Jason in that. I thought he was just like fucking intimidating, and he doesn't make any noise. He doesn't make any sounds. No grunts, no fucking noise when you hit him. Nothing.
You don't hear that.
Well, you hear that. No,
okay, I was gonna say you gotta have that.
But he doesn't have like when like somebody gets hit, they make a sound. You know what I mean? Nothing. Doesn't make a sound when he hits you or when he takes a hit.
Really?
Silence. Complete silence.
That's creepy.
It is. And he has that ability, which just won't blow it for you, but he has that ability to just appear behind you.
Nice.
Well, how that always happens with him. He's just like, you don't keep your eye on him. He's behind you, but he disappears and reappears behind you. It's pretty funny.
Well, I remember when they were first bringing him out that they were going to give him the sleeping bag fatality, and
it's in there.
But they said they had to tone it down, not like it was in the movie.
No,
the movie is brutal with that sleeping bag.
It's fucking disgusting, actually. But it's toned down a lot.
Yeah.
And his other fatality's fucking stupid, but
Well,
it's as brutal as you think it is.
I'll have to do that tomorrow. I think I'll have to install that on his computer and get some controllers on the Steam Link.
Yeah. You've already thought of tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow the only thing I had plans is I bought enough food that we don't have to leave the house, and we were going to carve pumpkins.
There you go.
Because we bought pumpkins last week.
Do you do the seeds?
No.
No? That's
No.
I do them every time.
No. Nah, that all gets thrown away. In fact, this year, my daughter last year didn't like carving. So even though I bought her a knife this year that she could carve herself, she wants to paint hers, and my son wants to carve his. So
That's cool.
we'll have
I've done
each end
both.
of the we've done both. So, but she wants to.
I've done both over the years.
Because we used to, they didn't have it this year, but usually we go to Fall Fest over at Hillside Farms. And they have a whole pumpkin station where they do the paint and the stickers. And that's how we usually get our pumpkins from there for her. And they didn't have it this year, so we just went to the pumpkin patch, and they each picked out a pumpkin, which the only rule, there were 2 rules. 1 pumpkin per kid, and you have to be able to pick up your pumpkin and carry it.
See, I never, sorry, I have somebody texting me and it's driving me nuts. That's what I tell the kids the same thing when we pick up ours. I say, if you can carry it, you can get it out of here. And I remember one year Megan killed herself. And she was like, I said, it's too fucking big for you, Goofy.
Yep.
And they pick it up. They try to pick it up on a stem. And I'm like,
yeah.
that's only going to last so long, guys.
Yep.
Depends on how dry it is.
Yeah, because we used to go up to, have you ever been up to Roba's? Up above Clark Summit?
No, I've never been. Kelly's taken them, but I've never been there.
It's a great place, and their pumpkins are dirt cheap. The only thing I don't like is you have to pay admission to get in, because it's a whole experience there.
Oh,
so
Roba's World.
Yeah, I mean, there's like not hay rides. There is a hay ride, but there's like a hay obstacle course. There's playgrounds there. There's the corn maze, which I did once and will never do again. There's a big jumpy pad. There's all this kind of stuff you can do that's all included. Which is really cool, there's actually a pumpkin cannon.
Oh, the pumpkin chunkin'?
Yeah, No, this is an actual, they put little baby pumpkins, sorry to hit the mic, into this huge air-powered cannon, and you shoot them at targets in the woods.
Oh.
My wife and son did that one year, and that was cool watching them do that.
I always think of the pumpkin chunkin'.
Yeah.
God, that was cool.
They had to stop that after someone almost got killed.
Wimp. Suck it up. So, and then what else did we have? Did we have anything else? Have we actually run out of?
The only other thing we had, which it's not something we have. It's a know nothing story, but they announced a new Star Trek series this week.
Yeah, is it gonna, tell me it's going to take over after the original animated series, because I actually like that.
It was good.
It was actually better than the show it was based on.
They actually, I did some more research today. They did not announce anywhere. All I found was the same press release on every site of what time it's going to be placed in. But CBS is doing a new Star Trek series, so this will be the 3rd one. They have Discovery, which is coming into season 2. They're developing the new Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard show. And this
That's
third
after
show,
he retired. Is that
yes,
what that is?
It's going to be in real time. The way they've rumored it, it's going to be based in real time, which according to Nemesis, the year it's going to take place is going to be 2399. So it's going to be literally the last year of the 24th century. Him going into the 25th century. So I think that's actually kind of cool.
It is.
That really, you're literally bridging that gap there. Because the original series was all 23rd century. Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, that was all 24th century. And now you're going to 25th century. So I thought that was really cool. But it's going to be an animated series. And it's called, there is a Next Generation episode called the same name, called Lower Decks. And it's the same premise as the Next Generation episode, which it's not focused on your main characters. It's focused on all the people below decks. The people who are the ancillary people of the departments, the ones that run the reports, the ones that are told, I need you to, go do a level 4 diagnostic of this replicator in this quarters. That guy who has to do that.
Go clean the shitters.
Yeah, those type of people. As they put it, the line that sold it was the showrunner, which I forget his name. I want to say his name is. Oh, it began with a K. I'm almost positive, but he told the executives that I want to make a show about the guy who, when you put the yellow card into the replicator, hands you the banana. And they're like, perfect. I want to hear that story too.
Yes. Yes, I want to hear that myself.
And apparently the guy who's running this now, and I never heard of this, which is odd for me, is back in...
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And back, I think it was 2009 or 2011. I don't know why those two dates are getting mixed up. He ran a faux Twitter account. Well, he ran a Twitter account tweeting information about a faux 8th season of The Next Generation, about storylines and behind the scenes stuff, basically pretending there was an 8th season, giving out storylines and what was happening. And I guess it caught on enough that I, again, never heard it. They actually, Simon & Schuster, commissioned a book off of him to write about this fictional 8th season that would have been in The Next Generation.
Damn.
Off of his Twitter account that he created for this. I'm like, wow, that's really
I
interesting.
always thought the peak of Next Generation was First Contact. I think that's the high point. That's my opinion.
No. That's a great opinion. That is absolutely a fantastic opinion. And here's how, over the years, I've heard it broken down many times by people I follow, people I know, and been to enough conventions to hear it broken down by the actors themselves. Because I was at a convention and it was right after Insurrection came out, and Marina Sirtis, who plays Deanna Troi, was on stage, and she goes, so who liked First Contact? And everybody claps. Who liked Insurrection? Everybody claps. Who liked Insurrection more? And people clap. And she goes, what the hell is wrong with you people?
Insurrection's fucking terrible.
But here's
that movie's all over the place.
Well, here's how I heard it broken down, and it absolutely is true if you think about it. Star Trek Generations came out, and it was not a good movie. That was all over the place. You had the old crew, the new crew. I mean, Picard away
I think
from
they were
the
just
ship.
trying to retire the old crew at that point. That's what they were trying to do.
it was a mess. If you know some of the behind the scenes, the script was a mess. There's tons of footage that was cut that should not have been cut. Everyone's been hoping for a director's cut. We're never getting a director's cut. That aside, everyone wanted a new Wrath of Khan, a new Star Trek The Next Generation action movie. First Contact provided that.
Did.
After First Contact, you had the people, no, that's too action adventure. We need more cerebral. I want something like a Next Generation episode. If you think about it, Insurrection is nothing more than a 2-hour Star Trek episode.
It is. And this is not the first time I've heard that theory.
And then people go, well, no, I want a little bit of both, to which you get Nemesis. The first half is all cerebral, all intellectual. The second half is just action.
War.
Yeah. So that's kind of
the action in Nemesis is great.
It is.
It is.
And once again, you proved you can't have Deanna Troi at the helm because she crashes the ship.
Yeah.
For the second time.
But she can crash into me anytime she wants.
Oh. So, but that's how over the years that the movies have kind of fallen into their place. And when you think about it logically, it's absolutely true. Like, I love all three movies for different reasons. If I want an action adventure Star Trek, I'll throw in First Contact or Nemesis. But if I want something I want a different story. I want something just to relax to. Insurrection's always my go-to. Kind of like the original series. If you wanted action, you went to Wrath of Khan instantly for the original one, or Undiscovered Country. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. You go to those two movies. If you want something just to relax to, you always go to Star Trek 4, Voyage Home.
Yeah.
If you want something that's a little different, that's when you go to Star Trek 3 or, God forbid, Star Trek 5.
Star Trek 5 is all over the fucking map.
It is.
It's hard. That's hard to watch.
And there's a whole reason because of a writer's strike and everything, but that is a horrible movie. And if you're feeling good about yourself and you want to punish yourself, that's when you sit down and watch the director's cut of the motion picture. The very first one. Because
that's hard to watch.
It is very hard to watch.
Yeah. I remember I didn't see the original motion picture until I want to say after I had seen Wrath of Khan as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because my dad and I were Star Trek guys, but I think we just missed it, or I wasn't old enough to see it, or whatever.
You would have been old enough because that came out in '79.
Yeah, I was probably 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I was 2. I should say probably. So I remember not seeing it. I remember seeing it later, and it was just like there's so much difference between the Wrath of Khan and the motion picture.
It is night and
it's
day.
Fucking night and day. It's so, and it's unbelievably terrible. You know what I mean? Like what? The part where they're walking off the ship to go to V'ger, and you're like,
okay, I
what
can't,
the actual fuck is going on here?
I actually can't believe you actually mentioned that one scene. That is the only reason I've actually watched the director's cut. Because the director's cut, that entire scene was redone in CG. And the only reason I bought it and watched it is because a buddy of mine who's in the special effects industry did that entire scene.
Oh, well, maybe I'll watch it then.
And he told me beforehand that he was working on it for a restoration director's cut. And he's like, I can't tell you what scene I'm doing, but when you pick it up, I'm in a behind the scenes. And it tells you what I worked on. I said, okay, Lee, I'll do that. And I picked it up, and first thing I went to was literally the behind the scenes. What scene did he do? And his name is Lee Stringer. And he showed up, and he talked about how he did the whole scene where you see the big saucer section, and they come up out of the saucer section and walk across the hole. That he redid that entire scene in CG.
That's fucking painful to watch in the original one.
Yeah, and so I watched...
I've never seen this one, but I will watch it.
I watched the whole director's cut just for that scene to see how it was laid in, and that's honestly the only time I've watched that director's cut.
Yeah.
Just so I could say, Lee, I did see it. Good work, man. You know, that was the only reason.
Some of that shit's hard to watch, you know? It's like the new uniforms, they were fucking painful.
The weirdest thing, if you think about it...
The stiff acting on the girl, even before she became...
Oh, they're stiff acting on everybody.
There is, but hers is noticeably stiff. Like, she's supposed to be stiff in the latter half of the film. That makes sense, because she's, you know, she got taken over. But the beginning of it is like, holy fuck, what's wrong with you?
The first time I ever saw it, which I believe, just like you, it was after Wrath of Khan. But going from the original series to motion picture, the first thought in my head when you see Spock for the first time was like, what the fuck happened to his voice?
Yeah.
He went from normal Spock to I'm talking like this, like I'm gargling glass. And it's like, what, I can't
Sounds like you smoked fucking 8 cartons of Luckies.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, dude, what the hell did they do to your voice?
Yeah.
So it is rough to watch.
And the second, you know, the Wrath of Khan, because I think my always personal feeling about the Wrath of Khan is, and I don't know this because obviously we weren't there, but I always said that they needed to like really win everybody back. Like at this point,
you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
So, you know, and you take this character from the original show, who I don't know whether or not, if you think that Space Seed is like one of the better episodes of the original series, I don't. It's okay.
It's okay, but out of all the original series, there's only really that I could think of 3 quote-unquote villains. Actually, no, I take that back. 5 villains that did not die in that episode that they were featured in.
Yeah.
2 of them were Klingons, which showed up in DS9. Kang and Kor.
Yeah.
And then you had Khan, and then you had, I want to say, wow, I'm a horrible Star Trek fan.
That's okay. I'm a really terrible one because I don't know the other 2 at all.
The other one, well, that's the other one was Mulligan. Mulligan, shit. And the other one was the Squire of Gothos.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay.
Which, if you read a book, I forget the name of the book. I have it upstairs. It's not Q squared, or is it? No, I think it is Q squared. Written by my favorite Star Trek author, Larry. I'm forgetting everything tonight. Larry David. He actually went back in time to the first episode, but threw Q back in time. And you learn throughout that Q going back through history, the Squire of Gothos was actually part of the Q continuum.
Oh, okay.
He merged those two universes. That's why he had that power. That's why he was like that. But from my best, Finnegan. That's the guy's name, not Milligan.
Yes.
Finnegan.
Yes.
Those to me are the only 5 characters I could think of that were the baddies of that episode that got to escape that episode, that they didn't get killed or done away with, that they were just kind of let go at the end.
I always wanted them to reference Harry Mudd. I you know what, and they did in
Discovery.
Yeah, they did do that. So,
but Harry Mudd, I don't never consider him a villain. He was just
he isn't, but
he's a buffoon. I mean,
and that's the point.
Yeah.
But I always wanted them to, like, I don't know. I wanted them to give him more than they did.
Yeah.
You know,
well, he got 2 episodes. That's more than any
that's
other
the thing.
character.
It's like more than any other character.
Yeah.
He got 2 episodes. You know. So I don't know. Wow, we really got deep into the Star Trek lore there. That's pretty good for us.
And I will put this out there: one of the best crossover Star Trek episodes ever is Trial and Tribulations.
Is that the one from DS9?
From DS9, where they inserted everybody into the Trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah, that is. I like the
fantastic.
part where Kirk's yelling at.
Ed O'Brien.
Yeah, that's fucking scene's great.
Well, I love when Cisco and Dax are like they're pretending to repair something, and Kirk and Spock over there, and Dax is like swooning, like, "Oh, look at him! That chiseled face, that flowing hair." And Cisco's like, "Yeah, Kirk was known to be such a ladies' man." She's like, "Not Kirk, Spock." And Cisco literally just closes the panel and goes, "Let's go." He carries Dax away.
Or the part where they're trying on the uniforms, and she goes, "Well, the women wore a lot less."
Yes.
Yes, they did. But, you know, that was the time in the time. If you know what I mean, that was when Star Trek was on TV.
Yeah.
A lot different then. You know.
Well, I told the wife, and she's willing to go with me this year, that we may try to sneak away this winter and go up to Ticonderoga up in New York. That's where they rebuilt all the sets for a web series called Star Trek Continues. And they pretty much got a cease and desist. They had to stop. But they had these sets, so it's an attraction now. You could actually pay money to get in and look at all the sets. They've had most of the original series actors that are still alive tour these sets. They have conventions there now. That from here, I think it's a 5-hour drive.
That's not bad at all.
With that's not bad at all. And it's all the sets. It's the bridge, the quarters, the corridors, main engineering, sick bay, all 100% recreated.
Now, you're talking just Next Generation, or you're talking?
No, this is original series.
Oh, original. Oh, it's original series.
Original series, yeah.
I'd be there for that.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
So and it's only like $35 to get in. So it's like, let's see, 5 hours and $35 to go through the original recreation of the sets and a full bridge. And it's like, yeah, that'd be like, I've sat in replicas of Captain Kirk's chair, but not on a full bridge.
No.
I have in Captain Picard's chair. I have been on a full replica Enterprise.
I remember
D
that
bridge.
picture. You put it up on Facebook once in a while.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic, because we didn't even know that exhibit was there at the Franklin Institute in Philly. And we were going for a different, to see Galileo's telescope, which was on loan there from Italy. And we go there, and there's the big Star Trek thing. And I look at my wife looks, and I was, yeah, of course we're going. And I knew nothing about it. So we're going through, and there's a lot of props. And because I've done a lot of conventions in my life, sold and bought and all that, she found it hilarious when I'm going, that one's real. That one's real. That's a replica. That's a reproduction. She's like, how do you know this? I'm like, because these are lost. There's no, real ones that are left. And they did like a little next-gen sick base setup, a little next-gen engineering setup. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then you walk to the end and you just open up to where the Battle Bridge turbo lift is. And it's just, there's the freaking D bridge. So I had fun walking around all the aft stations, sat behind the helm, sat behind Khan, or Ops, not Khan. But at the beginning, there was a lady there, and they had a green screen. She's like, do you want to take a picture on the transporter? I said, no, I'm good. Well, I get on there, and I'm like a kid in a candy store, as you can imagine. And I finally sit in Captain Picard's chair, and I'm just sitting there, and the lady comes over. Do you want to? I said, yes, you could take my picture now. It's like, I'm sitting in Captain Picard's chair. You're damn right I'm getting a picture of me in Captain Picard's chair.
Hell yeah. I wouldn't be able to pass that up. If we had gone to, if that thing in Ticonderoga that you said about, if I had gone there, I would have to get a picture of myself in the captain's chair of the Enterprise.
Well, my wife might not, if she's not interested in going, maybe you and I could sneak off for a day.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Hopefully when it's warmer out.
We could go up to, actually, this would be a fun weekend. We'll go up to Ticonderoga, go see the set, drive back, get a room in Binghamton, hit up, what was it, Silver Dollar or Silver City Arcade in Binghamton, which has over 100 arcade games, and then, boom, shoot home.
Yeah, I would need the alpha clearance for that, but
that would, yeah.
Yeah.
On both sides of that one.
Yeah.
But a guy can dream.
Yeah, living the dream, Trev. Living the dream. So,
well, after I went on that Star Trek tirade, I'm open to anything now.
Yeah, I think
my geek card was out.
Yeah, and it got upgraded, and downgraded because you forgot names. But
it did get downgraded a little bit, but yeah.
It's like Kelly will forget the name of somebody in a film, and I'll be like, "Just give me your geek card now. Just turn it in."
Well, I actually kept an image from the group you joined me to on Facebook. That someone posted a picture there. I think it was yesterday, and it's a man card, and it has in the front "revoked."
Yeah, is that when they throw people off?
Yeah,
off
the group. Yeah,
God, that's great.
So I had to keep that. So the next time you say, take away my man card, I have to send you that man card revoked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I'll send that to
There's
you.
a website where you can actually have your man card made.
Oh,
it has
really?
Your image and, it has like your name and address and stuff like that. Those are a credit card, I thought about buying them for us a couple of years ago, but I think they were like a little outrageous. So I was like, it's really not worth it. So.
And I think that's it. I think that's it.
I think we're out of shit to talk about.
I think out of shit that people are interested in hearing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could complain about being married for a while. I mean,
nah. Actually, I do want to say one thing, and this rarely happens, Jerry. It was good seeing you in the flesh yesterday, man.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice getaway for 2 hours for both of us. Yeah. It's nice to see your mom and your sister, too.
Yeah.
I can't take away from that, of course, but...
Yeah, I was up at, it's my mom's house. It was my dad's garage, and I was working on a burn barrel for our property to clear some brush, and I told you that, I'll be up there for about 2 hours if you need to get out of the house, and sure enough, as soon as I got done welding what I needed to weld on that 55-gallon barrel, I mean, you showed up, and that was awesome, just hanging out, just chilling in a garage with lots of tools and shit.
Yeah, I said to Kelly, I said, you know what, that was like the best therapy I've had in a long time, just like 2 hours of not having to worry,
Yep, then my sister
Of course, I
showed
forgot
up.
my phone, so, that...
Well, your wife found you through my phone, so...
Yeah, I knew she would. It's about the time I parked, I realized I didn't have it, and I wasn't turning around.
I just had a laugh because you told me that. I forgot my phone, and after we're sitting there, everyone's having a beer and stuff like that, all of a sudden my phone goes off, and... Hey, Trevor, is Jerry there? He forgot his phone. Oh, you're dealing with that one, buddy. I'm not replying to that.
Yeah. I just figured I'd call her. But yeah, it is what it is. But it was nice to see you. It's actually nice to physically see you more than once a year. Or more than here,
And actually, I'd say I'd see you next week at the parade, but our kids don't go to the same school anymore.
No, they don't. Katie's still having one, which I'm shocked, because usually they don't do them in the Memorial and up.
We did it up to 6th grade. I remember that was the last time.
Yeah, but you know what? I remember Megan didn't do it in 5th and 6th grade.
Oh.
So I'm thinking 4th might be the line now for that, which sucks because I really enjoy it.
And it sucks for me because Jack and Addie's are both at the same time. So in fairness, I'm going to try to talk to Jack and see if maybe I'm not going to be there so I could go see Addie's first parade.
Yeah, no, and you are.
So
you can do it.
Katie's not having one at Memorial?
She is. Katie is. And obviously Megan's not. But I think this is the last year for her.
So then he still has one more because next year, hopefully my wife can get off. Normally she'd be off, but it's the last day of their marking period.
Oh.
On Halloween, so. Because our kids have a half day. They have a full day. It's the last day of their marking period up in Hazleton, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what do we usually do at the end here? Oh, like and subscribe. Please sponsor.
Please sponsor.
Go to our website.
Yep, website.
Go to our website.
If you don't know the website.
Like and comment the video.
Okay, let's see if we could run this down really quick. Ready? Website, 40somethingpodcast.com. Twitter, 40something show. iTunes, just search for 40something podcast. Oh, shit. Hang on now. Wow, Windows just popped up. It was about to restart my computer for an update.
Yeah.
That would have been tragic. We would have lost this
Yeah.
entire recording.
Yeah.
Sponsor us. Send an email to 40something show at AOL.com, I think.
Oh, okay. Make
Go on
sure
the
you check out
website. There's an email link on the website.
Yeah, there's an email link on the website. The website that looks like it's from 1986 GeoCities.
Yes.
Well, I'd say 1995 GeoCities, actually.
But you can listen to us by streaming it, the video and the audio on the website. Well, the video links to my YouTube account. You can stream the audio from our website. You can listen to it and subscribe via iTunes. You can listen and subscribe through the Google Home Store or the Google Play Store. And you can listen on any Alexa-enabled device just by asking to play the podcast.
And folks, that gives Trev a big Woody.
It does. If you didn't, if you paid attention, Alexa introduced us.
You're right. She did. She did. So
she's a good chick. She turns on my lights for me when I ask.
Yeah. Only if she did more.
Well, yeah, but not in that way.
No, I meant like doing laundry.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be
nice.
really nice.
Alexa, wash the clothes.
Alexa, get me a beer.
Yeah. That'll be coming soon.
And she just answered me. Although it's dangerous, I can actually, because I have the Domino's account linked, I can actually have her reorder my last order.
That's dangerous.
That is dangerous.
Especially if it's said wrong.
And you can, I haven't blocked it because I haven't had an issue with the kids, but you can order anything off of Amazon through the device.
Yes, you can.
So
because I've seen that when you go on Amazon, it's because I was looking at infrared heaters for the downstairs. I was looking for a bigger one for my downstairs, and you just have to. It says just tell Alexa order infrared heater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's specials if you ask it. If there are any specials, a lot of times if you order it through the device, you'll get a couple bucks off.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is really cool. So I've ordered a couple things just for that reason, that it'll say you could ask her for the deals, or sometimes on there, order through Alexa, save $4. So I'll just turn around and ask one of the dots to order it for me.
That's cool. I like that. So
I'll
tell you how Mystery Science Theater is tomorrow.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. So
I was thinking about it, but it's a bad time of year. I got so many birthdays and anniversaries coming up. It's like,
and Christmas is 2 months away pretty much now.
Don't make me cry.
I know.
So
Kelly started on it already, and I'm like, great.
Honestly, I would start, but it's tough because my son's birthday is the second week of October. My daughter's birthday is the first week of November. So I don't know what the hell they're going to get.
Yeah.
So shopping ahead of time, unless it's something large that I know no one's going to buy them, I'm stuck to see what they get for their birthday.
Yeah. That's the thing is Katie's birthday's the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's like, so I got to give people ideas for that and buy myself.
Exactly. I don't know what to tell people. Like when I want to shop Christmas early this year. What does Jack want? I don't know what he's going to get for his birthday, so I can't tell you. It's like, unless it's something big, like if my mother came to me, is there something big he wants? Yes, he wants a new monitor because no one's going to get him a monitor for his birthday.
But your mother?
My mother would, yeah. She usually gets the kids one big gift, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's my mom. My mom will buy him something big and then clothes.
As it stands right now, my daughter's birthday, which is her party's actually a week tomorrow, she wanted PJ Masks and Paw Patrol. And today she came to me and said she doesn't want that. She wants My Little Ponies. So I actually had to sit down and write down all her favorite ponies to tell my mom and sister what to get her, which
I sadly know the name of.
Well, I didn't know the name of them, so I brought up all the names. So her favorites, if you're curious, in order are Twilight, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Applejack Spike, Scootaloo, Apple Bloom, and Sweetie Belle.
I think I want that in a text message sound. I found the one we were looking for, so you don't have to give it to me. The one for my brother.
Oh, okay, yes.
I found it. I found it
on
the computer yesterday,
okay.
So I meant to tell you. I got to tell you that. And it is his sound again. So.
Oh, is it his sound again?
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to. I'm waiting for him to be here and have him text me something when he's home for Thanksgiving. So. All right, let's cut this off.
That would be absolutely fantastic just to see his face.
Oh, well, see, he told me, he says, I don't care if you have it, but don't make sure you don't use it. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like you wouldn't use something great like that.
Oh, you kidding me? It's like that might be the greatest thing since, that might be the greatest thing ever.
Hang on one second.
Oh, pussy feathers.
No, there it is. I was doing the same thing.
I'm like, I gotta add it to the board really quick. It's still on the iPad.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Guess what, John? If you're listening.
Oh, pussy feathers.
Best show ever.
And on that note, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Jerry, thank you for joining me again.
Hey, you wouldn't have a show if I wasn't here.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have one either. So.
And the next time I head up to the garage to do some more work, I am calling you and you're showing up.
No, I within reason, but yes.
We'll try some welding together.
All right, I could do that.
I'm learning it on my own, so.
I can learn it.
We can do it too. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.